years or more. We're very grateful to the Immigration Minister for making this decision in Mr. Lee's case. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that 7 years ago now, the Federal Parliament had an inquiry into the treatment of migrants with disabilities, and that inquiry found that there needs to be a number of changes made to the Migration Act to ensure that we don't get into this situation again. And that includes raising the significant cost threshold to take better consideration of what financial supports a person with disability actually needs or does not need in order to remain in Australia, and also raising the health requirements as well, so we get a more accurate picture of the person's support needs, and we don't just assume that because they have a disability, they're a burden on the taxpayer and they're not welcome here. So it's absolutely outrageous that 7 years later, we still haven't seen action on that inquiry.
Do you think this decision will have wide-ranging effects, or at least you're hoping for that?
I hope this will be the catalyst for that change. Time and time again over the years that I've been in Parliament, we have had success in getting people with disabilities permanent residency after very similar cases to that of Mr. Lee. However, at some point, the Federal Parliament needs to listen to its own advice, actually follow its own recommendations, and make sure we get a change to the Migration Act that sees us no longer making policy on the fly, wasting everyone's time by dealing with this on a case-by-case basis and dealing with outdated blanket policies.
We've had a couple of Pat David's case and other Indian families, which is quite similar, had that decision overturned. It seems like unless the media kicks up a fuss, the federal government sweeps this under the rug.
Absolutely, and citizens of Australia and indeed citizens of South Australia shouldn't have to depend on the media to find justice. We should be able to find justice in our legislation, in our laws, including in the Migration Act. And for that to happen, all that needs to happen is for the Federal Parliament to follow its own recommendations that they made 7 years ago. Over to you, David.
Yeah.
We'll just move the mics, give us a sec. Oh, ready to go. You quite happy? We're all good?
Just 1 second.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good, thanks.
Excellent. David, a week ago today, we're in a very different situation, weren't we? How are you feeling now?
Yes, certainly. Well, a week ago we were still getting signatures around, and there was more and more advocating work was being held and all the stuff. But fortunately, after all this advocating and all these signatures, on Friday the 24th of June, I received the news that I was granted a permanent resident, which means that I can be here indefinitely and I'm more settled.
Take me to the moment you found out.
Just a bit more.
Take me to the moment you found out, David. What were you thinking? You must have just been over the moon.
Yes, something like that, over the moon. And also I felt a great sense of relief knowing that the federal government is listening to the people of Australia. And being said that, I would like to thank the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who take the trouble and go online and fill the petition and make good comments about me. And secondly, I would like to thank all the party, all the media who helped me in advocating, and the politicians. And most of all, I would like to thank the Assistant Minister for Immigration, the Honourable Alex Hogg, for granting me a permanent residency visa.
What does it mean to you to be granted permanent residency?
What I feel is that I'm part of Australian society. I feel that I'm taken into Australia, that I can remain here in Australia, which I so wanted to call home for a very long time.
Must be a good feeling knowing that Australia is officially your new home.
Yes.
Is it? I mean, a week ago, David, you were genuinely worried to be kicked out of the country. It's been a long journey, hasn't it?
Yes, certainly.
Tell us a bit about it. How tough has it been over these past few weeks, months, even years?
Well, the most tough thing that is going through me was lots of uncertainty. You don't really know what's happening in the next day or two. The government we just come and say, well, you have to leave in the next 24 hours. After last Friday's decision, things were more settled.
I know you thanked the minister today,
Yes.
the government today, and rightly so, but is it a bit disappointing that you had to go through all this to finally get permanent residency?
It is disappointing. I mean, there were a lot of unnecessary work being done, but however, I'm also grateful for the people, the thousands of people that came and supported me.
What would you say to them? Because I know you have so many friends out there who had your back and really pushing for this to happen. What would you like to tell them?
A very big thank you from me. I'm really grateful that they went out of their way and tried to put me into this country.
And
I'll serve the Australian community well.
nice to have about that, David. What next? What are you most looking forward to? I bet you'll go around telling everyone you're a true blue Australian. You're going to wear your Aussie pride on your sleeve.
Eventually,
What are you most looking forward to about being an Australian citizen?
to be able to do what other Australian citizens do, like say to vote in governments or to help others.
Because I mean, there was, as I mentioned, there was a very real risk, David, that you would be sent back to Malaysia.
Yes.
And what would have happened then? I mean, it wouldn't have been, your new home is here, not Malaysia.
No. That's right.
So it wouldn't have been the best outcome.
No.
Yeah. It's got a pretty good ring to it, doesn't it? Australian citizen.
Yes. I'm certainly looking forward to that.
Did you hear from the Assistant Minister for Immigration for the government at any point? What is the reason for the change to your application?
Well, by reading the form, what it said that the assistant minister has used his public interest power and granting you a permanent resident. That's what the letter said.
Alright, thank you.
David, I mean, again, public interest. How did it get to this stage? You are a musician, you're a charity worker. Was it a bit frustrating having to rely on all these signatures and all this support to finally get the decision made? Just tell us a bit about that, and what that was like to go through.
Well, obviously you can feel the frustration being waiting for this decision for the last 10 years, but then also the public or the people of Australia has done a very good job.
How do you think you'll celebrate?
We will have a celebration party this Thursday evening in RSL in Blackwood. We are playing the band and it's just a celebration party.
So you found out on Friday.
Yes.
Did you pop open the champagne and celebrate there and then with a few friends?
No, I haven't had an opportunity to do that.
But perhaps down the track, perhaps
Yes.
on Thursday.
Yes.
What do you think you'll do?
John, what every other Aussies do,
And do what? What do you think you might do?
celebrate, just keep celebrating and keep